walking?
Yes, yes. Oh my goodness, what a good.
Hello, Kababayan. Picture the moment. July 2nd, 2026. The WTA publishes its official field announcement for the Mubadala City DC Open in Washington. And there it is. One headline, 5 powerful names. Alina Svitolina, Marta Kostyuk, Naomi Osaka, Alex Eala, and Venus Williams. A 21-year-old from Quezon City, ranked number 32 in the world, suddenly dropped into the same sentence as a 7-time Grand Slam champion and a former world number 1. What the Filipino diaspora has waited a generation to see was suddenly written into the tour's own press release. And the woman at the center of it was still 5 days away from the loss that would define why she needed this tournament in the first place. So here is the question worth arguing in the comments. Does she reach the semifinals in Washington and set up a career-high ranking before the US Open? Rewind with me. The heartbreak on Center Court and the immediate reset July 7th, Center Court, Wimbledon. Alexandra Eala walks off after a 6-4, 4-6, 6-3 defeat to Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16, her first ever Grand Slam 4th round. Cameras caught the tears she tried to hide during the changeover. The weight of the moment, the exhaustion from the emotional high of beating Iga Swiatek just days earlier. The taped left forearm telling its own story of a long season catching up. But when she sat down in front of the press, she refused to shrink. It was a very challenging match today. I think Jasmine played great. I gave everything that I could, did everything that I could do. No injury alibi. No excuses. She spoke of so many positives and announced a scheduled 3-week break. Not a retreat, but a reset. 20 days later, that reset ends in Washington, D.C. Just 3 days before the Paolini match, Eala had done the impossible. She dismantled defending Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek 7-6 in a dramatic 9-point tiebreak, and 6-2 on Center Court. The biggest upset of the entire tournament. That is the Alex Eala arriving in D.C. Not a hopeful qualifier, not a wild card, but a direct entrant coming off a Grand Slam round of 16 and a signature scalp on the sport's most sacred grass. Now look at what waits for her at Rock Creek Park. 7 top 20 players in a 28-woman singles draw. World number 8 Alina Svitolina projected as the top seed. Naomi Osaka, Marta Kostyuk, Venus Williams on a wild card at 46 years young, and defending champion Leylah Fernandez fighting to hold on to her 305 ranking points. In that same bracket, Jasmine Paolini, the player who ended her Wimbledon run just days earlier. Reports circulating through Filipino tennis media frame the total commitment at over $1 million, though the tour's own numbers place the full WTA 500 purse at more than $6 million. Either way, this is not a soft landing. This is the deepest hardcourt field of Eala's young career, and she walks into it unseeded. 0 points to defend. Pure opportunity on hard courts start with the number that changes everything. 0. That is the total ranking points Alex Eala is defending across the entire North American hardcourt swing. Washington, Montreal, Cincinnati, and the US Open. Every match she wins is pure gain. Every round Leylah Fernandez plays in DC is a round she can only bleed points from. 2 players in the same draw. 2 very different directions on the ranking board. Put yourself inside Rock Creek Park in late July. 90+ degrees, humidity like a wet towel, and the largest Filipino-American population on the East Coast pouring in from Maryland, Virginia, and D.C. itself. The Los Angeles Times and other outlets documented the raid Filipino turnout that followed her through the grass season. Flags in the stands, chants echoing across practice courts, homemade signs at every changeover. That crowd is not staying home for her return. They are booking flights, making signs, and ready to turn Rock Creek Park into Little Manila. Monday, June 30th. Eala walks into Wimbledon ranked 32nd. Friday, July 4th. She is beating a multiple Grand Slam champion on Center Court. Monday, July 7th. She is out of the tournament in 3 sets. Wednesday, July 29th, or whenever the event starts, she is back on court at a WTA 500. That is not a normal career pace. That is a compression of experience most players never see in a single season, let alone a single month. And the pattern is the point. Miami Open semi-final earlier in the season. A career high of number 29 in March. A Berlin wild card that turned into a statement win. Wimbledon round of 16 with a massive upset over Swiatek. Each result is not an isolated highlight. Each one is a data point on the same rising line. The people who told you months ago that Eala was the real arrival were not being sentimental. They were reading the numbers correctly before the mainstream tennis press caught up. The WTA's own headline is the receipt. The potential Paolini rematch and hard-court advantage. Then there is the ghost sitting in the same bracket. Jasmine Paolini, Roland Garros finalist, Wimbledon finalist, former world number 4, is one bracket breakaway from a rematch on hardcourt. Grass belongs to no one in particular, but hardcourt is where Eala's powerful baseline game truly lives and breathes. If the draw runs true, they could meet again by the quarterfinals. And this time there is no 3-week reset waiting on the other side. This time, it is on Alex's preferred surface. The strongest endorsement in this story does not come from a legend's mouth alone. Comes from the tour itself. The Women's Tennis Association, the governing body of the sport, the sole authority on every draw, seeding and marquee decision, chose to place Eala's name in the same July 2nd headline as Venus Williams and Naomi Osaka. Not as a footnote, not as a young player to watch, as a headliner. When the institution that manages hundreds of professional careers curates a 5-name marquee and one of those names is a 21-year-old Filipina ranked outside the top 30, that is not marketing, that is recognition. Add to that earlier reporting that Rafael Nadal himself reportedly did not hesitate to step in and personally advise her during her time at his academy. The people who know this sport at its highest altitude are not waiting to see if Eala belongs. They already put her name in print. The Filipino community's flags tell a story the ranking board has not fully caught up to yet. Washington is only the entrance. Montreal follows in early August. Cincinnati after that. Then the US Open in New York in late August. Her first direct main draw entry as a ranked player, not as a wild card or qualifier. That is a historical first in its own right. Southeast Asian tennis has never produced a bankable top 30 women's star with staying power. Has now. Every sponsor already in her corner. Globe Telecom since she was 8 years old. Nike globally, Babolat, BPI, is watching this specific summer as the inflection point that determines her next contract cycle. A quarterfinal in DC does not just change a ranking, it changes an economy around her. If Eala wins 2 matches in Washington, she moves back solidly into the top 30. If she reaches the semifinals, she is knocking on the door of a career high before the US Open even begins. The emotional and tactical reset rewind one more time. 5 days ago, she was walking off center court with tears in her eyes. 3 days before that, she was ending a defending champion's title defense in one of the biggest upsets in recent Wimbledon history. 20 days from now, she will be back on court in the American capital, unseated in the deepest field of her career, with a woman who beat her at Wimbledon sitting in the same draw. Stitched into her own tennis gear and mindset is a phrase in Tagalog that Filipino fans have been circulating since her run began. Hindi ito hinto, once you grow you don't stop. The WTA already wrote her name into the marquee. The diaspora is already booking flights to Rock Creek Park. The bracket is already loaded with the exact opponents who could tell us whether Wimbledon was a moment or the start of a movement. Eala is not arriving in Washington to prove she belongs. She is arriving to prove that the loss on center court was a comma, not a period. The serve that let her down can be rebuilt. The lefty advantage that Martina Navratilova flagged. It can be sharpened with film study and deliberate practice. The mental reset between a career-defining win and the next match. That comes with experience she is gaining faster than almost anyone expected. The talent that dismantled Swiatek on grass is fully formed. The gap to the very top, smaller than the world realized. Hard courts may suit her aggressive baseline power even better than grass. The humidity and heat of Washington will test her, but the crowd of Cababayans cheering her name will lift her. This is the compression of a lifetime's worth of lessons into one breakthrough season. Why this summer matters for Philippine tennis legacy. Think about the broader meaning. 4 decades, Philippine tennis has waited for a star who could consistently break through at the highest levels. Eala is that star. From her junior days, through the Nadal Academy scholarship, to her first WTA title, to Miami semis, to Wimbledon round of 16 with a win over Swiatek, she is building something sustainable. Every win in Washington adds ranking points with 0 to defend. Every strong performance builds confidence heading into the US Open, where she will make history as a seeded player in the main draw. The Filipino-American community on the East Coast is ready. Flags, chants, homemade signs. Alex Eala, Puso para sa bayan. The energy will be electric. Even in the heat and humidity, that support will feel like home. Sponsors are watching. The tour is watching. The entire tennis world is starting to see what we Cababayans have known. Alex is the real deal. A deep run in DC, quarterfinals or better, sets up a career-high ranking. A semi-final appearance. That puts her knocking on top 20 doors before New York. And if a Paulini rematch happens on hard courts, expect a different scoreline. Grass was Paulini's comfort zone in that moment. Hard courts are where Eala's weapons shine brightest. The prediction and the call to action, so here is the question worth arguing in the comments. Does she reach the semifinals in Washington and set up a career high before the US Open? Or does the Paulini rematch happen earlier? And does the scoreline flip on hard courts? My prediction: Alex reaches at least the quarterfinals, possibly the semis, moves inside the top 25 to 28 range, and heads to the US Open with massive momentum. She is not just participating, she is contending. The loss at Wimbledon was not the end. It was fuel. The 3-week reset will refresh her body and mind. The hard court swing is her time to shine. The people who saw the Miami run and called it early, who watched the Swiatek upset and knew what it meant, who have been reading the numbers correctly for months, this is the corner where those predictions get written down before the results catch up. Subscribe for more. Drop your DC Open bracket and predictions in the comments. Let us see who called it first when the draw is revealed and the matches begin.